Eric was invited to Barcelona and I tagged along.
We just landed in Barcelona.
It's fun.
So I spent most of my time just exploring the city and walking around, kind of getting lost, like in the Gothic corridor, and just stumbled upon a lot of really cool and interesting things, like this harp player. And I also visited a lot of museums. My favorite museum that I visited was the Meme. And if you're ever in Barcelona or close to Barcelona, I really recommend seeing this, especially if you're into representational art, because it's all modern representational art, and that's all that they have in the museum. And I don't know if there's another museum that's like that in the entire world. So it was really, really cool to see. And even how this museum presents the artwork is really interesting and really beautiful. For example, they play music all throughout the museum, which I can't think of another museum that I've been to where they do this. And all the music that they play, or at least when I was there, it was like really emotional pieces playing lightly in the background, like from movie soundtracks, which was really cool to really gets a nice atmosphere going through the place. And the rooms were curated really well. You could definitely get a feel for different themes as you go around the museum. And even the walls, they weren't whitewashed walls and white ceiling and floor. Everything was really, really beautifully done. And also my painting instructor, Matt, had one of his paintings in the museum. So here's a clip. And his painting is the one of the guy holding a crown that's glowing blue. And here are some of my favorite pieces in the museum. Another museum that I checked out was the Museum of National Art of Catalonia. And this building was stunning. It was beautiful. It looked like a palace and it had a really, really nice view of the city. This museum had a really big collection. It had all the way from medieval art to modern art. And then here's some of my favorite pieces from there. And also I visited the Sagrada Familia by Gaudi, which was a huge basilica. It's still being constructed, but I've been to St. Peter's Basilica before, and I think I like this basilica actually even better. I haven't seen a church that brings so much nature and organic forms into its architecture. And so it was really beautiful and interesting. When you step inside, the columns that are in it, or the pillars, it's really reminiscent of a forest, which is really interesting. And the stained glass was incredible. Most of the stained glass that I've seen, it's usually depicting pictures, but the stained glass in this basilica was more so for the color. And so when the sunlight shines through it, the morning when it's shining through, the sun is hitting glass, the stained glass that's cooler colors. And then at the end of the day, the sun shining through on the other side, which is getting the warmer colors. And so just how it lights the church on the inside just was so beautiful. And then the rest of the time was just left eating really amazing food. And I left feeling really excited and inspired, and it's giving me a lot of ideas for things that I want to do in the future regarding my own paintings. And so I'm excited that I have probably just a year or so more left of school, and then I get to start really making my own creative paintings. And so speaking of school starts up for me this Monday, tomorrow. So I'm going to be starting to add videos back into the Atelier Diary playlist. So I'll be making a video at the end of each week telling you what I've learned. I'm really excited to get back into the studio.